Okay, hello everybody. So I am headed to Tesla service, and I'm going to talk about why I'm going to Tesla service and what's going on with my car in just a second. Let me load up my stuff. All right, so if you're the owner of a Model Y Juniper or you're looking to purchase one, you'll want to know about these two common gremlins with the car. One of them, Tesla will fix under warranty, and then the other one, Tesla will not fix under warranty, but it'll just cost you a little bit of money to get it resolved. All right, so let me start with the first problem. These are both very common. The first thing is suspension noise from the front axle. And I had experienced this when my car was new, and I had researched this late last year, earlier this year. I think it was late last year when I first started researching it, and other people were complaining about it as well. At that time, there was no fix, although Tesla was aware of it. And I just sort of gave up on it. But let me explain the noise. It's a knocking sound coming from the front when you go over uneven road. It doesn't have to be really broken up road or anything, just slightly undulating or uneven road. You'll hear this knocking sound. It almost sounds like horseshoes hitting the pavement. And sometimes it's louder than others. And if you're really not paying attention or you're not particularly sensitive, you might miss it. Or maybe your car isn't even doing it. Supposedly, not all Model Y Junipers are doing that. But it is a known thing. It is both on the premium model as well as on the performance model. So by earlier this year, I just decided, okay, well, I guess there's no fix. I'll just leave it. But then I had recently read that Tesla came up with a fix, fully acknowledged, and there's now a service bulletin. So I'll put that on the screen with a full description of what's going on. This bulletin, as you can see, came out in May. All right, so it has to do with the front upper control arm mounts, as well as the shock and strut assembly. They call it the whole damper unit. So they call it FUCA. So you'll want to refer to it as FUCA, F-U-C-A, front upper control arm. That's how they refer to it. So if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about, refer to it as you want the FUCA mounts replaced and also the shocks and struts replaced, part of the service bulletin. So what they do is they'll put on new struts and replace these mounts. And also you'll see mention of pencil brace. A pencil brace, that thing is not actually related to the suspension. It's a brace that is used to, I guess, for support of some mechanism for the windshield wipers. What I was told by the service guy was the vibration caused by the shock and also the mount not doing, I guess, what they're supposed to do, is further amplified by the existence of these pencil braces, one on each side, one for each wiper. So they took it off, and that's the fix. So you're essentially getting new suspension components, and you should go get it fixed because, well, it's free, and it's a known thing, and I thought I would just ignore it and it would be fine, but it felt like it was getting louder. So I got it fixed. I'm really glad I got it fixed because the car now drives better. It's noticeable. It's not dramatic, but it is noticeable. Before, I always felt like the car was kind of floppy and not very well behaved in turns. And I just thought, okay, it's the premium model. They softened it up. It's not supposed to be handling focus. So I accepted that it's not great at turning and all of that. But then it just started feeling floppier and less composed. Anyway, with the fix, the car feels just more dialed in, the suspension. It just feels a little tighter, less floppy is the word, I guess. I think you'll notice the difference. I did. It's not dramatic, but it definitely feels better. It's totally quieter, no knocking sound anymore, and the ride feels just more refined. It feels better the way your car feels better when you get new tires, and it feels like smooth and quiet. So it's definitely worth doing. Anyway, check out the service bulletin. All the details you'll need are on there. Okay, the next thing pertains to the AC, and this is a problem that's plagued Teslas for a while. I mean, even like in 2019, and it's still the case with Model Y Juniper, and that is smelly air conditioning. So what happens is when you use the AC and you turn it off and you leave the car parked, what happens is the evaporator coils are still damp and they don't dry. When the car's parked and the evaporator coils are damp, it develops mildew and mold, and that's what you're smelling. This will happen in gas cars, but much rarer, because on a gas car with an engine, you have the heat of the engine. The engine is still hot after you stop driving, right? And so that heat dries out those evaporator coils. You don't have the benefit of that with an EV. So that's what happens. And so what you can do if you're a new Model Y owner to prevent this is when you park your car, and I do this, is to just keep the climate running. Make sure when you click keep, you turn off the AC. Take it off auto mode, take it off recirculate, and put it to like fan speed 5, and just let the air blow for at least 10 minutes after you park it. And that's what I do, and that'll prevent the evaporator coils from getting mildewy and smelly. Now, if you are already a Model Y Juniper owner, or actually any Model Y, and you're experiencing this, you can get it fixed. Tesla knows about this, but they won't fix the smell under warranty. What they will do is they'll tell you to purchase a air filter replacement service, which is $63. You get a new pollen filter. They'll put in the pollen filter, but before they do that, what they'll do is they'll spray an evaporator foam cleaner to clean the evaporator coils. They'll do that as a courtesy. They lump it in with the replace air filter service. They didn't used to, but now they'll do that. So that's their way of sort of helping you, but not actually acknowledging that it's a design defect, because they're not willing to acknowledge it. So yeah, it'll cost you $63. They'll clean out the evaporator coils where, all the mold is built up, and you get a new filter, and presumably that is going to take care of the problem. And actually, it does take care of the problem. Now, in my case, my smell was very intermittent, and it would happen very rarely. And since I started doing the keep climate without the AC on, that's very important when it's parked, it seems to have taken care of the problem. I think this is worse when you live in humid climates. It's worse if you're, let's say, turning on the AC very cold, but your fan speed is kind of low. So then it causes water to collect in the evaporator coils because you don't have enough airflow drying them out. So anyway, that's how you can get that fixed. Now, I think this is a design defect. I think this is something that Tesla should fix for free, if only once, but they're not willing to do that. What they're willing to do is, as long as you're willing to pay that $63 for the air filter, they will, as a courtesy, clean the evaporator coils, which I guess it's a compromise, and it's, you're actually not paying that much, because I think the air filter itself is $30-something. So if you were to do it yourself, because you actually can replace the air filter yourself, it's not hard. In fact, the how-to video is right there in the app, where when you purchase the air filter, you can do a tutorial video that shows you. It's not hard. But by the time you buy the evaporator coil cleaner plus the $30-something for the air filter, you're probably only spending another $10-12 to have them do it. So Yeah, I mean, they're pretty smart. They know that you're not probably going to make a big deal out of it. Although to me, I really do think that this is, in my opinion, a breach of warranty or failure to honor a warranty. But yeah, what are you going to do? So I'm driving to Tesla service right now to get these two things addressed. And this is me recording audio after the service. And I can tell you that I did not ultimately replace the air filter because I thought it was premature. According to Tesla's guidance, it's every 2 years. And because I've found a workaround, by keeping the climate or keeping the fan blowing when parked, I sort of solved the problem. And so I'm not going to change the air filter just yet because my car is only 1 year old. But if the smell comes back, then yeah, I'll just pay the $63 and have them put in a new filter and flush out the evaporator coil. But we're not there yet.